Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed Sisters of Battle Week, and I hope I've helped a few of you decide to dive into the world of the Adepta Sororitas. Today we're going to take a look at the current status for all the major orders of the Sisterhood. Just how are they faring with the galaxy in turmoil? General spoiler warning to begin, as we will be discussing lore from across the Warhammer 40k universe, so you have been warned. But with that said, let's just jump straight in. Okay, so with the fall of Cadia and the opening of the Great Rift, the orders of the Sisterhood are no different from the rest of the Imperium, and have become sorely tested in these darkest of times. So let us begin with the Order of our Martyred Lady. Traditionally, the strongest of all the orders, the Order of our Martyred Lady is the largest by number and by worlds controlled, but they have suffered heavily in recent events. Upon the sands of Armageddon, they suffered grievous losses at the hands of Ghazghkull Thraka. It is said the sisters put up such a fight that orcs from across the war zone were drawn to face them in battle. And that's quite a claim, considering the entire world would be filled with Space Marine chapters. But as if the loss of so many sisters was not bad enough, the Order also had a heavy presence at Cadia's last stand. The Great Rift that followed ripped the Order's territory in half, trapping countless worlds within its nightmarish hell. How many worlds still hold out amid the chaos, valiantly fighting for all their worth? Only the Emperor may know. But despite these heart-wrenching calamities, and with many of their worlds still lost beyond the rift, the Order remains strong. For every world lost, another remains across the Imperium, and the Order of our Martyred Lady remains the strongest light against the dark. The forces of the ruinous powers will find the God Emperor's loyal daughters are eager for vengeance. On to the Order of the Valorous Heart. Stuck across the Great Rift within the Imperium Nihilus, and with the vast bulk of their territory out on the eastern fringe, the Order of the Valorous Heart finds themselves besieged from all angles and cut off from the rest of the Imperium. As all worlds within the northern half of the Imperium, they find themselves beset by chaos in all its forms. Demons, heretics, and traitors. Many of their worlds are isolated on their own, and worse still, the Order's territory borders several Xeno empires, these vile aliens seizing the chance to exploit the Imperium's weakness. Drukhari pirates, greenskins, Tau expansions, and Necron tomb worlds. But still, despite this, the Valorous Heart hold firm, sending crusades out into the void to re-establish contact with the Imperium. Order of the Bloody Rose. Of all the major orders, it could be said the Bloody Rose has suffered the trials of the Rift in perhaps a better state than that of their fellow Order sisters. Perhaps due to the Order's strongholds being far to the galactic south, or perhaps because out of all the orders, the Sisters of the Bloody Rose are committed to taking the fight to the enemy in their crusades of faith. But do not be mistaken, this is not to save as many worlds as they can. This is to purge as many heretics as possible. But despite their distance from the Rift, with their many crusades of vengeance, the Order of the Bloody Rose has sisters in action up and down the length of the Great Rift, turning back the tide and taking the fight to the heart of the enemy. But it is with the Xeno the Order finds itself most often in action. In being situated far to the south, they find themselves combating tendrils of Tyranid hive fleets in growing number. So too purging worlds of Genestealer infestation. Wherever these Xenos dare reveal themselves, the Order of the Bloody Rose will find them. Order of the Ebon Chalice. Again, the Ebon Chalice is another order that has fared better than others, most likely due to their circumference of the core worlds of the Imperium. While embattled as all the galaxy, it's safe to say proximity to Terra definitely counts for something. Especially when you can count on the Emperor's own custodies amongst your closest allies. And for their part, the Ebon Chalice has been vital in turning back the advance of the ruinous powers. Horde after horde has had their advance to Terra blunted by the lives of these sisters. And despite being much smaller than other major orders, while the Ebon Chalice stands, so too will Terra. Order of the Argent Shroud. The Order of the Argent Shroud has undoubtedly suffered more than any of the other orders with the opening of the Great Rift. The rift itself enveloping huge parts of the Order's territory, and the chaos that came with it all but overrunning the rest. And in fact, it was believed by Terra that the entire Order may have been obliterated. The truth is not far removed. But despite this tragedy, the Sisters of the Argent Shroud still fight, appearing on worlds and battlefields the full length of the Great Rift with a thirst for vengeance unmatched. How many Sisters and worlds of the Order still live exactly remains a mystery, even to the Ecclesiarchy itself. For any of the Sisters of the Order that are met upon the battlefield refuse to speak of it. And it has to be said, this is quite possibly the coolest lore of any of the orders. The Sisters of the Argent Shroud like a living legion of the damned, appearing on battlefields, kicking traitor butt, and answering no questions. Order of the Sacred Rose. Despite the Order's homeworlds being far to the galactic north, lost in the darkness of the Imperium Nihilus, the Order of the Sacred Rose remains strong, with barely a few of its worlds falling to the claws of chaos. The Order of the Sacred Rose blazes like a beacon against the dark. The Order of the Sacred Rose has become a source of refuge for many civilians throughout the Imperium Nihilus. And indeed, it is not just within their own borders that the Order is active. All across the Northern Imperium they arrive to protect the Emperor's people. Together, with the Warden of the Imperium Nihilus, the Order of the Sacred Rose surely pose the best hope in restoring the Emperor's light. And it must only be a matter of time until the Lord of Angels himself reaches their border. And so that's the current situation for all the major orders of the Adepta Sororitas. Much like the rest of the Imperium, they are truly up against it. Some orders more than others. But it has to be said, there's some awesome lore there to base a crusade force of your own. There really is. It's definitely got me thinking. Pretty much every order has something cool going on. The perfect narrative to base your own crusade force. The decision is now just which order to go for. But that's it for today. Like I said, I hope you've all enjoyed Sisters of Battle Week. It's certainly been a fun one for me. But with that said, a huge thank you to all my subscribers. Your support really means a lot to me, it truly does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.